Hi, I'm Walla Walla School Superintendent Mick Miller, and welcome to the Pulse for April. I sure hope you had a wonderful spring vacation. It is so nice to have longer days, a little better weather outside, it's getting warm, watching those spring sports, that baseball and softball, track. Oh, it's just nice to be in spring. Today on the Pulse, we are at Prospect Point Elementary School. You know, Prospect Point was its own school district for a long time, but for the past, oh boy, 50 years, Prospect Point has been part of the Walla Walla Public Schools. And this particular school has had some incredible success. The past 2 years, the Center for Educational Excellence has designated Prospect Point as a school of distinction. It's the only school in our district that has earned such a designation, and they're awfully proud of it, and we as a district are awfully proud of Prospect Point. Thank you for taking a few minutes today to join us to learn a little bit more about this outstanding school. Welcome to spring and welcome to the Pulse. Chris Gardea is finishing his 5th year as principal at Prospect Point Elementary School. And Chris, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And congratulations, 2 years in a row as a School of Distinction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the neat part about the School of Distinction Award is that it's based on longitudinal, on a number of years of academic performance. What kind of things are you doing as a staff to help show that continued increase in academic performance?
You know, as a staff, we're really proud of this accomplishment, and it is a testament to their hard work that they have every day. They are continually reflecting on the lessons and looking for that self-improvement. So as a building, we look at trends and really kind of roll up our sleeves of where we can do better.
Right. So that continual improvement is awfully important, and I know you use data a great deal here.
Yes, yes. As grade levels, they look for where are the kids at the beginning of the year, and then at mid-year we just finished up looking at data and how well were our plans in place and what can we do differently. And we also keep the parents involved and keep them on board so that they're our partners right along with us in the learning.
Very good. And it's obviously working, which is wonderful. But they're also not just looking at academic information and data here. I know there are a number of great programs at Prospect Point, and one of them is the PALS program. Can you explain what PALS is?
PALS started a couple years ago, and Kate Van Cleve has been leading that.
5th grade teacher.
5th grade teacher, yes. And it stands for Peer and Leadership Support. So we're looking at developing leadership skills and really having that influence of peers over other peers. They're the leaders when teachers aren't around, and they can really help set the tone of a safe and civil school. Right. And so they've also taken on different community organizations, other ideas. So
that volunteerism and service learning and leadership, boy, to be able to develop that at this age is fantastic. You also are using a good deal of technology at Prospect Point. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. As kids are growing up these days, they aren't used to like a landline, or they're used to
like
cell phones
yeah.
and smartphones, and they come from a really tech-rich environment, and we're trying to keep the learning, the skills interactive and incorporating technology. Good teaching is good teaching,
right? And
technology is just a tool to keep kids engaged. But the heart of it is really good teaching. Right. So,
and our kids are becoming, I mean, they are so tech savvy, but we do have to kind of keep up with them.
Right. And so we're looking at having interactive whiteboards in our K through 2. We were able to get that done this year, and incorporating that into our Stepping Stones program for math.
Great. Lastly, you know, last year, beginning of school year was kind of rough outside of Prospect Point when Reeser Road was torn up and being redone. But boy, that's all done now. And how is that, along with the safe routes to schools grant, how's that impacted things here?
Well, you know, just watching the foot traffic outside, we see an increased walkers and bikers. They have better visibility, and there's curbs on both sides of that street, which makes it a lot safer. But the other part of that grant was an education piece, and having that awareness of, you know, wear a helmet, obey the rules of the road, walk in pairs, never walk alone. That part has been a welcome addition to get the word out of, getting to school and getting to school safe. So we're gearing up for our second annual bike rodeo, where we'll have a lot of community agencies coming in to help us out. And so that'll be in April. So.
And it's April 27th.
April 27th.
Saturday, April 27th. So we hope that you all can join us with that. Well, again, Chris, thanks for your good work at Prospect Point, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, man.
I'm so happy to be joined by Margaret McKiernan, who is in her 13th year at Prospect Point Elementary School. And Margaret, you get to teach that kind of magical year, first grade. Chris was talking to us a little bit about the use of technology and smart boards. How do you use that type of technology with 6- and 7-year-olds?
Well, we just got some new smart boards starting the beginning of this year in January. And so the kids, they know more about it than we do. And so they can draw and drag and mix stuff up. And so we're using it a lot. Every day we use it, fixing sentences and doing map work, all that kind of thing.
And so they're actually up there moving stuff around on the boards.
Manipulating everything around, yeah.
Oh, very cool. One of the other things with technology we were talking about was the Accelerated Reader Program, AR. And we've heard about that at other schools, but haven't really talked about it much. What is Accelerated Reader? What's that program?
Well, what that is when we have the books that the kids read from the library, and they're worth certain points depending on how hard the book is. And then they take a test on the computer, and they get points for those. And they keep track of that, and it's like money, and the kids get to go to the AR store twice a year to buy things for reading.
Very cool. And they can take those AR tests at home.
They can take them at home, and they can take them in the classroom, both places.
And then, so the idea is the more challenging the book, the more points.
Right.
Very good.
And we've got everybody in our classroom doing it. Even the kids that are the low readers, they're doing it with a parent partner in our classroom. The other kids are doing it, that's their nightly reading program.
Okay. Now, I worked in high schools, and I feel very comfortable around older kids. In fact, little kids kind of scare me a little bit. But you sure seem like you have a lot of fun with your job and with the team that you're with. What do you like about teaching?
First grade is the magical age where they're learning to read, they're feeling more confident with their math and their numbers. They just kind of become students at that age.
Well, and as you and I were chatting with Chris beforehand, you were saying that this time of year is that kind of magical time again with reading. Talk a little bit about that.
It just jumps. All of a sudden, the letters have come together for them into words and books, and they just come alive with that kind of thing. They're putting expression when they're reading. It's really exciting.
That is very exciting. Well, thanks for your good work, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks to Margaret, and thank you to Chris. This is just a terrific school, and I'm glad you had a chance to get a little bit deeper glimpse into what's happening here at Prospect Point. Boy, it's going to be a busy time of year in our schools. Many thanks to the WAHI parents and staff. In March, we had our first round of HISP testing and ACT testing, and really disrupted the school day. So thank you to those parents and students and staff for their flexibility. And we're looking forward to kind of the same disruption again in late May, only this time not just at WAHI, but at all of our elementary schools and our middle schools, as we have our MSP, our year-end testing, and another round of HISP testing at WAHI. Boy, folks, thank you so much for your flexibility on that. Also, graduation, it's just around the corner. Hard to believe, but April's going to go away and May is going to happen really quickly, so that first week in June is graduation, so be looking for those dates. We'd love to have you be part of our commencement ceremonies. And then lastly, as these days get longer and we have more children outside, please be aware of school zones and kids being out walking and riding their bikes. In April, the district is working with the county and the city for extra law enforcement in school zones, so we want you to be aware of that. But also, please, just be aware of kids out and about. They don't see cars as well as they really need to. We need to be extra diligent while we're driving. Well, again, thank you so much for watching The Pulse today. Thanks for your support of Walla Walla Public Schools. Have a wonderful April. We'll see you in May.